Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. Brandon Figueroa picks up a good win over Joet Gonzalez. He wins a very competitive 12-round decision. And yeah, I mean, Joet Gonzalez is almost the epitome of a gatekeeper. I mean, he fights his heart out. He's tough, great chin. Takes you the distance. This is his fifth defeat, Joet Gonzalez, all on points, 27 wins with 15 KOs. He's 31 now, but he's never going to catch a break, is he? Let's be honest. I mean, you look at the people he's lost to. Emmanuel Navarrete, that was a unanimous decision. Luis Alberto Lopez, unanimous decision. This one, he went the distance with Shakur Stevenson and lost virtually every round. He's that nearly man, isn't he? He's that excellent gatekeeper type who will take you rounds but isn't going to get the decision. And like I say, this was extremely competitive. Brandon Figueroa, 26 wins now, improved to 26 wins with 19 KOs. He's got 2 defeats and 1 draw. His last fight was a rematch with Stephen Fulton. In fact, Fulton's the only man to beat him because he's beaten him twice now. Majority decision back in 2021, which was for the WBC and WBO super bantamweight titles. And then the rematch, which a lot of people, myself included, thought Figueroa might win. That was Figueroa's last fight in February of this year. He lost a unanimous decision and he deserved to lose it. I was very disappointed with Figueroa, to be honest with you. But, you know, this was a case of, spot the jab, because I don't think there were any jabs in this fight. It was just two guys locking horns, and that was it. Phone booth warfare. And lots of rounds that were so difficult to score. Gonzalez picked up a cut across, I think, the right eye early on, about the third round maybe. Gonzalez was being outworked, I think, early on. He wasn't shaken, he wasn't stirred, he wasn't buzzed, he wasn't rattled, but Figueroa was just outworking him. And then in the middle rounds, I thought he came on, he started to get his engine running, and Figueroa maybe, although both these guys have got good engines, Figueroa, I wouldn't say he was sagging, but he was slowing down a little bit. There was less output, and he was getting hit more, probably because when you're up close and personal, and you start to get a little bit fatigued, even slightly, you become easier to hit. And there were some nice combinations in the middle rounds from Gonzalez, and he was definitely clipping Figueroa. I don't think either man was shaken at any point, which is kind of strange because they were both shipping some punishment as well as dishing it out. But the rounds were very repetitive, very, very entertaining fight, by the way. And you just got the feeling this was going to go the distance. It was going to be a close decision, maybe controversial, maybe a majority decision. But in fact, I wouldn't call it controversial. I mean, I do think Figueroa probably edged it by a couple of points, because he did finish quite strongly. The last 3 rounds, I thought Figueroa was kind of got a bit of a second win there. But make no mistake about it, this was, they're all both orthodox fighters, up close, letting hooks go. Maybe if there was a mid-range bit of space appeared, they both let their hands go, but then they were quite content to fall back in. There were occasions, I suppose, when Figueroa perhaps was smothering his work a little bit in some of the early rounds, but he was just busier. He was just busier than Gonzalez. Gonzalez was... he wasn't quite doing enough in some of those rounds, those early rounds. I think that probably cost him. But a good fight, a real good crash bang wallop sort of fight. Like I say, no jabs. But at the same time, I have to say that it was, that it wasn't real caveman stuff. I mean, there was some slickness going on. There was some, kind of little subtle, not so much feints, but they weren't reckless. They weren't completely ignoring defence. The hands were at least up. It's just that the styles were so similar that, you kind of thought, well, this is 6-1, half a dozen of the other a lot of the time. But do I object to the result? No, not at all. Not at all. I think Figueroa probably did win it by a point or two. But worth looking at. Worth looking at. This was on the undercard of the Barrios-Pacquiao fight. Go and have a look if you're interested. And yeah, thank you very much for watching the video. Please, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel as well. Go on, do us a favour. Anyway, I'll get you later. Bye for now.